Alright everyone, I found this kind of interesting. I was reading Colorado Revised Statute 25-2-112, birth registration. A certificate of birth for each live birth which occurs in this state shall be filed with the state registrar or as otherwise directed by the state registrar within 10 days after such birth, and shall be registered if it has been completed and filed in accordance with this section. When a birth occurs on a moving conveyance within the United States and the child is first removed from the conveyance in Colorado, the birth shall be registered in Colorado, and the place where the child is first removed shall be considered the place of birth. When a birth occurs on a moving conveyance while in international airspace, and so on and so forth. If you look up the word conveyance, and the legal meaning is transfer of title to property from one person to another. The document by which a property transfer is effected. So, if you read this statute again and you think of a birth certificate as transfer of ownership, then it reads like this: a certificate, which is a transfer of ownership of birth for each live birth. So we're talking about a transfer here, which occurs in this state, shall be filed with the state registrar. Now, it's not telling you that you have to transfer ownership from one. You don't have to give ownership of your child to the state. It's not saying that. It's saying that a certificate of birth for each live birth which occurs. So it's saying when the transfer of ownership occurs in this state, shall be filed with the state registrar. It's really tricky. These people write the laws very trickily to trick you into thinking that you have to do this. And most people are none the wiser. So I say that we call our congressmen, our senators, and the people in the city about this, and we start retaliating against this deception. It would be kind of like if you went to go buy a car from someone or a car salesman and you didn't know nothing about cars, and the salesman sold you a car that had something wrong with it, but he didn't tell you. It's the same thing. It falls under the rules of buyer beware, and there's an old Roman maxim that says something like let him who would be deceived, let him be deceived. So Americans have been deceived, I believe. So if you read Title 26, United States Code, the Internal Revenue Code, you'll see that it's very tricky in the same manner. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to be aware of the truth, how this government is taking advantage of people's ignorance and they are capitalizing on our ignorance. In other words, they're taking advantage of our ignorance and they're turning us into capital, because when they gain ownership of you, they can borrow against your name, because then you contract with this legal fiction that was created on your birth certificate, and they're able to continue borrowing because you're going to pay it back. Anyway, thanks.